Shalom, Kolayim Layal Bashim El Shad. What's good, brother? This is LGMS, and honor to you, Akim. Peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen. Hopeful elect Kolayim Layal Bashim El Shad. And the great shutdown, the great economic shutdown, the collapse is in. It's the hottest topic in the news for those that are circumspect and paying attention, being observant of the times, man. Okay, we just seen First Republic Bank laying people off. I think it was just acquired by Chase. So all these banks are merging together. You had other two previous banks, Silicon Valley Bank and other bank had just collapsed as well. All right. We also see, Disney, Dropbox, Amazon, Google, Spotify, corporate jobs getting slashed. Even people at the retail level getting slashed. Walmart closing down different stores, man. And that's a major retail hub right up there with Amazon. They also laid off 9,000 people from different departments, man. Okay, the great collapse, man. And it's all being done, orchestrated purposely. All right. But even certain things like we're going into BRICS, that as well. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa making their own currency. Okay, all those nations are uniting against the dollar, man. Okay, and that's why. And now we also see France as well had meetings with China, man. So, man, everything is in the work, man. That's also part of the prophecy because we know that NATO eventually is going to turn on the whore. Right, and Macron, he made that controversial statement. He said that Europe must resist pressure to become America's followers. All right, those stuff was briefly mentioned in the news report video I just did. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Okay, so you have France is trying to separate from the war, man, because they see the conflict with Russia, Ukraine, right? And they know that America is aiding Ukraine. You know that America instigated that war along with different members of NATO. And they're supporting Ukraine against Russia. You see? Even though Ukraine was once a part of the USSR. And then you have China and Taiwan, man. China and Taiwan. All right? You have Xi Jinping. They're ready to make moves and recapture Taiwan again. Bring it back to the mainland and know that America is aiding them. So France kind of disassociate themselves and say, listen, man, we're not trying to get caught up in all that, man. Okay? That's why the scripture says in the book of Obadiah, let me get that. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 17. It's calling Mayal Bashim El Shah. And this is all leading towards the economic collapse, man. Let's get it. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 17 is also part of the Great Re as well. This is what we've been reporting on. See, but a lot of things are going to happen that's beyond your control. Let me get that in a minute. Obadiah chapter 1 verse, let's see. 1 verse 6. It says, how were the things of Aishah searched out? How was hidden things sought up, which is your secret plans, your schemes, your agendas, is being searched out, is being exposed. Scripture says the heaven shall reveal your iniquity to prophets. And the scripture also says your own tongue shall fall upon yourself, because that's a kingdom divided against itself. You have the different whistleblowers. We see they just pulled Tucker Carlson, one of the major news journalists, from the airwaves, because he was bringing out a lot of things, man, on the Great Read, CBDC, all right, Big Pharma, Maxine. Okay, that's your hidden things being sought out by your own people. Okay, your own agendas, man, your plans, everything's being brought to the forefront. Yahweh Shai said, what's in darkness always come to light. All right. This is all the Lord's doing, man. Your nakedness is being seen. Your skirt is being lifted. All right. You will see the demon that you are. And that's what the scripture is saying, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy, all right, have brought thee even to the border, which we know confederacy or your allies, your alliance. Okay. It says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And which is why NATO eventually is going to turn on the whore, man. NATO eventually is going to turn on the whore. That confederacy is going to be broken apart, man. Okay? Your allies, man. That's the scripture in Revelation, the 17th chapter. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's none understanding in him, man. None, man. Okay? Because why? Those nations are also breaking away from the dollar, which is also leading to the collapse, man. You see? Because we did videos on that prior before on this fiat currency, which is not backed by any gold. That's why those countries, they don't want to be bullied by America anymore. That's why they create their own currency that's going to be backed by real gold. All right? Because we know that that's what made America rich. You see? Let me get Revelation 18 chapter. Matter of fact, let me get Isaiah 19:14. That's what made America rich. All right? Everybody does business with the whore. Take it even further. How you call it? The world's reserve currency is the dollar. All the central banks and the financial institutions, they prefer using what? Dollars. And those countries that were forced to use the petrodollar because of America's military might. And America hit them with sanctions and different embargoes. See, but all the nations now are starting to, the playing field's starting to be even now because they're also acquiring nuclear weapons. Right? And we all know the main thing that made Babylon rich, and that's why you devils are going to be destroyed. And that's the main reason why Yahweh Shem Shah is bringing judgment upon Babylon, man. Is because you got rich off what? Slavery and conquest, man. Point blank, period, man. Can't get around that, man. You just can't, man. And that's why, let me get Isaiah 19:14. So we see that on an international level, but now dealing on a national level, man, there's not going to be no more jobs, man. Let's get Isaiah 19:15. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. What Egypt? This Egypt right here. Okay, so I'm talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about this place, bondage. All right, where the Israelites are being held captive, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. It says, which the head or tail. All right, so these high-paying jobs, these corporate jobs, right? These white-collar jobs and these blue-collar jobs, man, and the base jobs, man. Branch or rush may do is going to be a collapse, a great man. And you see it playing out right now, man. Yahweh Shem Shah is bringing this place down, and he's using his left hand to do it, because this is also in Aishah's plans. But he don't know that he's accelerating his own downfall, because you're not going to build in desolate places as it is written. Once this place go down, that's it for you. You're going in captivity and slavery, man. So the Most High is shutting down all these different financial sectors, the banks and these different institutions, and the rest of these jobs is all coming down, man. Calling Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Right? That's what the watchmen, that's what we're reporting. The great shutdown, man. That's why the scripture says, let me get that Zephaniah 1:11. This will be a quick lesson through the power of Yahweh Shem Shah. Just have to, quickly report, further expound on that news report video I just did through the Spirit. Okay? Let's get Zephaniah chapter 1:11. It says, how the inhabitants of Mektesh, which is an ancient city in Israel, all the merchant people are cut down. All that bear silver are cut off. All the merchants, all the money changers. Today, like we say, the banks is being cut off, man. And these different businesses, these different industries is all coming down. The Most High is cutting all that off, man. Just like the scripture talks about Tyre, which is the ancient Canaanite city. You read that Ezekiel 27, Ezekiel 28, the king of Tyre, that's the modern day Edomite today, the king of Babylon. But back then, that was a prosperous city. Okay, prosperous Mediterranean or maritime city by the sea. Dealt with a lot of trade, merchants. Okay, where they produced a lot of textiles. When you look into the history of Tyre, that's also Babylon, man. Okay, And the Most High said that he would cut that place off. All right. This is the time period that we living in, man. So now is the time to spiritually start departing from this place. Like the scripture says, to start being pilgrims, start thinking like a pilgrim. See, because eventually we got to leave all this behind, man. Because Esau, he wants this great social credit score and carbon footprint. They want to cut off gas stoves, get rid of gas cars, replace people with machines, AI, and the rest of the population that he don't kill or wipe off. He want to hit you with the MOTB, man. Prison, a digital prison, man. See? But the scripture says, look at that, Job, the 20th chapter. So scripture says the men as your confederacy have lain the wound under your own ally is going to betray you. Okay, the Most High is shutting down these jobs and businesses. We know that the dollar is failing. Okay, these nations are dumping the dollar. They're dumping it. And the dollar's backing the dollar is that petroleum, that oil. So Saudi Arabia say we ain't messing with your dollars anymore. We supporting BRICS. That's it, man. Hyperinflation, man. Things are gonna go through the roof, man. These products and these different items, man. And there's gonna be more shortages because it was burning food processing plants down. Okay, a lot of these trains that deliver your goods somehow exploding. All right, there's different spills, there's different toxic releases in the air. We all know this is purposely being done. Okay, all this is happening, man. This is a major time period we living in, man. But the scripture says in Job the 20th chapter. It won't be too long-winded. I just wanted to, like I said, quickly bring up some basic precepts on this. Job the chapter 20, verse, and then the entire chapter is good, man. The entire chapter is great. Now, let me just jump to the point. Job 20:22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. To set up his NWO, like the scripture says in Job chapter 5, verse 12. Let me get that before I read that. Job 5:12, it says, he disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. Okay? The new order of the ages, man. That's his enterprise, his NWO, man. That's the new system that he wants in place, man. You see? So it's not this new system that he wants. The Most High, he's going to disappoint him. Okay? King David even said that. So let's read that again. It says, he disappointed the device of the crafty, because they believe the Most High or Satan or Lucifer is going to favor their undertaking or their enterprise. It's not going to happen. And everybody's going to have to pledge to this devil, man, in order to enter the NWO. Make a pledge to Lucifer, the Lord of Light, to enter that NWO, and in which he is that Lucifer in Isaiah the 14th chapter. It's not going to work, man. He wants to be the Most High. So scripture says their hands cannot perform the enterprise. So the Most High is going to disappoint his device. That's why we read about the many straits. Let's jump back to Job 20. Let's get that. Job 20:22, it says, in the fullness of sufficiency, he shall be in straits, difficulties. Every hand of the wicked, which you look that word up, is amal in the Hebrew, which is I think it's aimal, which are the laborers or the people that's oppressed or the nations, right? They shall come upon him. They're going to come up against you, which we see happening right now. They have their own councils, man, coming up against America. We just talked about BRICS. Okay? They don't no longer want to be bullied anymore, man. They don't want to play your game anymore, man. So they going to come up against you, man. When he's about to fill his belly, when he think he has everything set in place, the Most High shall cast the fury upon him and shall rain upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, these missiles, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay? This is going to happen. The nuclear missiles, which is going to destroy America, Babylon the Great, man. That's what you can read in Revelation, the 18th chapter, man. Okay? Let's get that Revelation 18. 18. Revelation chapter 18. It says, verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. Because read Isaiah 34. And the behold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every clean and hateful bird. That's the only thing that's going to be left here. It's going to be a barren wasteland. Okay? But I wanted to get to the merchant part. It says, all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication, of philosophy, of doctrine. All right? That's our ideology, that democracy, that capitalism. Okay, that's also part of the wine of the wrath of fornication. You see? And the kings of earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Because all nations come here to do business, man. And they take the profit back to their country. Right? Everybody's here. All nations and nationalities are here. Right? We talk about the different merchants, okay, and the different industries is here, the different businesses. All right? They all make their money here, man. This is the richest country on earth. I forgot the GDP for America, man. See? People come in, you can live pretty comfortably compared to their country, man. And the reason why this place became so prosperous and became so great, because it's rich of the blood of the saints or the Israelites, man. Okay? We're the engine of this place, man. Us, man. All right? That's what Yahweh Shemal Shah. Well, let's jump on down. It tells you, it said, well, you know, we know this chapter already. Talk about the great city, merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, purple, silk, the different textiles, wood, everything here, cinnamon, odors, frankincense, and wine, just like Tyre. Okay, so this is like that great city. All right, business, man. You have New York, the Empire State, the stock market, all that stuff is here, man. All right, it says, verse 16, and saying, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught when this place is destroyed, when Yahweh Shai come back in the missiles. All right, and every ship master and accompanying ships and sailors, as many trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what cities like unto this great city? None. This is the glory of, or the beauty of kingdoms. It tells you that in Isaiah 13. Okay? The glory of kingdoms, man. All right? This place right here, everybody comes here, man. Killing themselves to come here. Issacharites, other Israelites from South America, Central America. All right? People from China, Europe. They're all leaving their country to make a living here, man. All right? And it tells you, verse 21, and in her was found the blood of the prophets and the saints and all that was slain upon the earth. Some brothers are going to die here, but the saints, the Israelites, this place is stained with the blood of the Israelites, man. It was built upon the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. That's why the Most High is going to destroy Babylon, man. All right, that's why scripture says Babylon shall be thrown down and found no more at all. So these are the plagues that's hitting this place. Part of that is that financial collapse, right? The stores and these businesses shutting down, people getting laid off, and of course the inflation that's coming, man. Hard times, that the scripture says, perilous times, man. We are in that time, man. Okay, so calling my Yahweh Shemal Shah, remain steadfast, prayed up, fast, and keep your eyes peeled, man, and watch what's going on, man. Keep your eye on the market, man. It's about to go down, man. Because this devil, he knows he has but a short time. Okay, that's why all these agendas and these laws are in place. See? And he's going to do a lot of things on the left-hand side to set this thing up. But ultimately, we know through the scriptures, it's going to fail, man. All right? So that, I'm going to say, calling La Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai Shalom.